Today on Kicks Chronicles. After hitting 100 episodes, we look back at some of our favourite guests. We chat about the future of the podcast and I reveal the identity of our first guest in this post-100 era. And to celebrate 100 episodes, we are giving away an absolute grail. This is Kicks Chronicles. Yes, my people, welcome to episode 101 of your sneaker and lifestyle podcast, Kicks Chronicles. I'm your boy, PROZECH. Welcome. We made it, people. We did it, man. We got there. You get me? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for riding with us. You get me? It's been a long slog, man, but we're here, man. And this is just the beginning. First and foremost, thank you to everyone that managed to check out the most recent episode. There was so much love shown on the LORENZ.OG, the LORENZ.OG episode that dropped last Sunday. Absolute scenes, you get me, online. Because you can see something over my shoulder, man. Blessed. We got blessed with a decent pair. Shout out to LORENZ.OG for being an absolute legend. Today, what I want to do is I want to take a little look back. I want to take a brief look back over some of my favourite episodes, some of my favourite guests. You get me? Now, before you, man, start, every guest is my favourite. You already know that, man. I ain't got no favourites when it comes to guests, right? But, you know, I had to do a little lucky dip and I had to pick out a few of my favourite stories and some people that were just like, they just came with the vibes. You get me, man? So, without any further ado, right, I want to introduce the first story/guest. You get me? Shout out, right, to Scott from the Double Dot podcast. Absolute legend of the game. One of the best sneaker podcasts coming out of the UK. You get me? Scott and Matt, big up them, man. Episode 41, the Pepsi story. You people enjoy that. Enjoy that. Absolute legendary story.
I mean, I know you shouted out my dad earlier and saying, like, you know, he's kind of good for paying out the cash, but I'll give you a story while we're on football that might make you think differently. So, 9-year-old me, do you remember the old Pepsi adverts where they used to have all of the footballers?
Oh, bro,
you'd have like the gladiators adverts and all them, right?
Yeah, I remember.
They used to hold competitions and you have to write a like 500-word little paragraph and send it in, and the main prize was to go over to the Bernabeu Stadium to play football with those players, right? That was the prize. Enter the competition, and not long after, I got a letter come through my door. Open it up, it's from Pepsi. Congratulations, you got second place. Unfortunately, you didn't get first place because you didn't answer the phone call. And there's 9-year-old me like, what are you on about? Phone call. No one said anything, right? I got this big bag, rock up to my house. It's got enough football kit to start my own football team and a signed football from the players. So I've got a signed football. It's up on the wall behind me with Roberto Carlos, David Beckham, all of them. It's all there.
That's
However,
amazing.
It was only years later that my dad told me that he did get a phone call. He got a phone call about 10 o'clock at night from somebody claiming to be Britney Spears. And he said, like, pull the other one. Put the phone down. They rang again. Picks up. It's Britney Spears. I need to kind of, Pepsi competition. And my dad, late at night, was just like, look, just leave me alone. It's late at night. Put the phone down again. It was only a little bit later that he realised that Britney Spears was the face of the Pepsi competition that year. And that we had the phone call. And he just put the phone down. Didn't tell me for years later. So actually, 9-year-old me could have been at the Bernabeu playing with Zidane, Roberto Carlos, like literally the dream. I mean, the signed football is still pretty good, but I mean that's something that even gets brought up now. Like he'll look at me and he'll go
every Christmas,
I'll do something dumb, and he'll be like, he'll turn around and go, "You idiot," and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm the idiot, am I? Wow. Oh, let's take it back like 20 years, shall we?" It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
That's deep.
That's bad.
Scott's dad flopped on that one, man. Britney Spears on the line as well, man.
I
Hit me, baby, one more time.
I don't blame him. Like if someone rings up going, "Hi, it's Britney,"
that's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. Now you people, let me know, yeah. Let me know if you think this guy's capping or he's telling the truth. Let me know, yeah? Because it's a wild story. It's a wild story, Burnabout and all that. It's a wild story, yeah? I love Scott, you get me? But let me know if you think he's capping. Let me know. Let me know. I'm still not sure, right? But shout out to Scott, obviously. Next up, man, it's my boy Kaff. You get me? Big Kaff, decaf, caffeinated. He's the man, right? Super active on socials. If you're not following Kaff, make sure you go follow Kaff. You get me? For all the in the know, get to know news on every single drop and about to drop shoe. You get me? Kaff is that guy. Episode 48. He told us why he's so humble, why he's so hardworking. You get me? He gave us a glimpse as to why, man. You know, I ask every single guest about the dark arts. You know, there's a reason why I do that. It's because I've been through it, G. I've been through it. And when I asked Kaff about the dark arts, I did not realize the level of response I was going to get. One of the deepest stories I've ever heard. I call it the bubble story. You're going to find out why. Enjoy.
And it doesn't affect everybody. And I don't even know if it affected you, Kaff, like it affected me. But it's something we should talk about and see if you remember. When I say an unholy grail, I'm talking about a no-name, no-brand shoe that sort of lives in infamy. One of those that we know about. There's a list of them, and I'll reel them off, right? I'm talking about shoes like Plimsolls, Golas, Ball Boys, High Tech Dunlops, Avius Tracks, Lonsdale's Everlast, you get me, AVR Ascot, Tracks, Adore. Like, did any of them ring bells?
Yes.
Did you ever have to dabble in them dark arts? Talk to me, man. It's a safe space,
bro.
my bro.
And I love this because people don't, like, people see your collection now and they're like, oh, you're so lucky, you get everything, blah blah blah. Man has been through the mud.
Come on. He's been through
I
it.
remember, and I remember back in lockdown when I used to do like sort of lives on Instagram every now and then. I used to tell the stories, like story time with Kaff. I remember having no job, and these times man's in college, second year college, so everyone's working. There's people working in Phones for You. There's people working in JD Sports, Foot Locker. Man had no job, bruv. And this was just before Office opened in Croydon, and that's when I got back on my feet. Brother, I was wearing Lonsdale from Next, and shout out to anyone. Oh no, Outfit, and shout out to anyone who knows about South London, Purley Way. And there's that big Valley Park shopping complex near Ferropia Lane tram station. Brother, my sisters they bust me in it. Like, I had no money. They were like, you need some clothes and you need some shoes, and they got me some. Got me bare like chinos and some long sleeve tees and stuff that I could just wear to college and stuff. So it's a fresh wardrobe. And then there wasn't a lot of money left for Kicks, so they got me some Lonsdales. And brother, they looked like some kind of AstroTurf football, but they were lifestyle. They were so.
Bro.
It's like they got a mix of Puma Kings and like Puma Kings and like something else, bro. Like some AstroTurf. It was a mess, and they were white and burgundy, and I wore them. They were white and burgundy with a gum outsole. I wore them like they were a pair of Yeezys, bro. Like it's all I had. It's all I had, bro.
Respectfully, I respect it. Man. Kaff, man, I love that story, bro. First and foremost, shout out to your sisters for putting you
each
on,
and every time.
Because like I'm saying, like I'm saying, family comes first, man. And they held you down, man, and they did what they could.
Brother,
they put you in the spot, man. They did what you could.
I had no money. Like I joke with my best friend.
Nah, man, I respect it.
I joke with my best friend about these times all the time. Like these times here, I was walking. I couldn't afford to park at work, so I would drive like to the nearest free residential parking and then walk like 25 minutes to the office. And I had a hole. I had one pair of smart shoes that had a hole in them, and I didn't have money to get new shoes, so I had to put a plastic bag over my socks and then put on the shoe so that when it rained, my socks wouldn't get wet, bro. Like, and there was one time.
Bro, this is a
Brother,
Disney film. Are you okay,
brother,
bro? Are you real? Are you being real? Is this Coach
brother.
Carl or your
There
life,
was
bro?
there was one time where I was running late and I just washed my socks. They were still in the washing machine. I had to take them out, put them on, and because they hadn't finished washing, the soap was still in the socks. So when I was walking and it was
Oh
raining and I was
my
walking, there was
days.
bubbles coming out of my shoe as I was stepping. So if you look behind me, there's a trail of washing detergent behind me, bro. That's why people don't
No
know, bro. You're
way.
hearing it first, bro. People
Calf.
that's why when people DM
Calf.
me and they're mad and salty about the pairs that I've got, or you got this, you don't know what man's been through, brother. You don't know, bro.
Nah, bro. Some people that are
I'm
calf.
humble, bro.
Nah, man. People that you need to pay the cost, bro. They pay
Bro, I've
the
been there,
cost,
man.
man. These man need to pay the cost, man. Respectfully. Oh my
Brother,
days.
embarrassing, bro. Like, walking into the office with a soap trail, bro, and then
Literally
in the office all day
soap.
with bubbles coming out of my shoe, and then bop home in the rain, more bubbles, and then get home and just sit there like, what am I doing, bro? What am I doing? So when you see
Wow.
me in a pair of off-whites now, just let me live, bro.
Bro, do you know what, yeah? This is going out to all you, man, yeah, right? Look at me in my eyes, yeah, right? And if you're just listening to this, listen with your ears, bro. I'm saying, like, don't know, there ain't nobody that's told me a story deeper than that story just
Brother,
told to me, right? When it cut, bro, don't nobody come for Kaff on my
brother,
life,
they don't
bro.
know.
On my life. Nobody come for Kaff, bro. When you see him rocking solid gold kicks, yeah, right? Don't say nothing, bro. Don't
Bro,
say nothing. When he's rocking, yeah, any kick you see him rocking, yeah, keep your mouth shut, bro, because you didn't go through it. Man went
brother,
through it, bro. I don't know nobody.
brother,
I don't know nobody, right? That's went through what this man's
brother.
gone through, yeah, man. Have some respect and have some dignity about yourself, man. Don't come at this man for his
Bro.
kicks, bro. He paid the
Them
cost, man.
days,
G.
them days, my
Wow.
rotation was 2 pairs of shoes, bro. The work shoes with a hole in them and the Lonsdales. That was my rotation, bro.
And them
That
Lonsdales,
was my
them
rotation, bro.
Lonsdales,
So,
bro. That
boy.
rotation, bro. That Suicide Squad. My God, bro. Nah, man, you've been through it,
Wow.
man. Respectfully, like.
Shout out to my boy Kaff. Amazing story. One of the best ever to drop on Kicks Chronicles. Now we're moving swiftly on to episode 62 with my girl, Kate Jasinski from The Edit London. If you don't know about Kate and you don't know about The Edit, you better get to know. You get me? One of my pet peeves is women's only drops. And whenever I get the opportunity, especially when I'm chatting to a woman, I'm going to bring it up, right? Because I don't like it. You get me? And we go into the reasons why I personally don't like women's only drops. Now, not everybody's like me, but I was speaking to Kate and her opinion on women's only drops was super interesting. Plus, she dropped one of the strongest bars, bro. Like, I'm talking smack DVD level battle rap level bars, like hard bars. And to give her credit, yeah, she referenced it from TT Finley, who I definitely need to get in the pod as well. But yeah, keep your ears out, keep your eyes out for that bar, one of the strongest ever. Kate Jasinski, The Edit London, episode 62. Enjoy.
What would you say your most expensive pair?
Definitely my Travis Scott olives, my most expensive pair, I think.
Fair dues,
Yeah.
fair dues.
But they get a lot of wear. We did a Grail event in collaboration with Sneaker Den. Shout out Sneaker Den, we love Sneaker Den.
Love Sneaker Den. Sneaker Den's my boy.
And I was actually wearing them to the opening of the event, and we kind of did a little bit of a crep check together. I was like, "What are you wearing?" And then he was like, "Oh, what have you got on foot?" And my jeans are quite long, so I pulled them up. And I was like, "Oh, I've got the olives on." And he was like, "Oh, how many times have you wore them?" And I was like, "Oh, I've wear them quite a lot, I really like them, so I wear them a lot." He was like, and now when I look at them, I'm like, are they really battered? Like, I've had Sneaker Den tell me that my shoes look battered. So now I'm like, do I just keep wearing them? Do I need to get them like refreshed? Like, can I clean that? I don't know. So my battered Travis olive.
No, the olives are hard. I really, shout out to Sneaker Den for not holding back. Jeez, that's hilarious.
Oh, I love the
I,
honesty, but
Yeah, no, I
I'm
respect
like,
it. I thought he was going the other way because he deals in vintage kicks, right? So
yeah,
I thought he was like, "Oh, you've kept them really well." But to be
this
fair,
is
I
the
mean,
thing.
they literally came out like last week, so
Yeah,
it's like
this
him
is the
to
thing.
say that.
He sees a lot of battered shoes, and to say that, I was like, oh god, I need to work hard on these now. So yeah,
Oh, the guy. But yeah, no, I feel like and this is an interesting topic. We can touch on it briefly. When the whole thing was floated about Travis dropping one last Jordan 1, and then we started seeing what the colorway was looking like, and it's a fairly sort of universally accepted. It's a good colorway. It's a decent colorway. It's got your whites, it's got your blacks. It's got enough of everything that anyone would want in order for it to be quite wearable and
yeah,
universally accepted. Then he committed, I personally believe, a travesty in making it a women's only drop, right? Because I don't believe in women's only drops. I'm thinking,
we're not
let
here for
every
it.
let everybody catch their kicks, broski. However it comes, let us catch him. Like, so
Exactly.
when I'm hearing it's only going up to 9.5, that broke my heart because I've never been able to get a Travis. So what's your thoughts on women's only drops, considering obviously you are a woman?
Well, I'll kind of flip your olive to the mocha, because then that was only a male drop, and I'm a size 5. So when they start at a 6,
Did they start that at a
they
6?
started at a 6. For the UK drop, they started at a 6. And I heard kind of a rumor that Nike basically forgot to buy the size run for women for the UK and Europe because it just didn't matter as much. And I was hurt my heart. But yeah, I'm very we actually work with a designer quite a lot called TT Finlay, who is an absolute
Oh
queen.
yeah, shout out to TT, bro. She's a guy.
One of my favourite people in this industry, and
Yeah.
she speaks a lot on women's only drops, and she said a quote a while back that everyone, like women especially, want inclusivity, not exclusivity, and that's kind of always stuck with me. Whatever drop comes out, women don't want their own exclusive pink dunk or pink Jordan. No one
Do you know
cares.
what, fam, Kate, bro? You have to say that again because that was too sweet.
People in the back.
Mate, everybody needs to hear that. What? I said, reload that one, bro. What did she say? TT Finlay. What did she say, bro?
We want inclusivity, not exclusivity.
Oh man, oh
TT.
my days. Shout out to TT. 1,000,000%.
Yeah,
1,000,000%. Couldn't say it any better, bro.
that
That's
stuck
amazing.
with me a lot. So yeah, every time that they do kind of like a men's only drop or a women's exclusive, I'm just like, why?
It's not necessary. This is what I've been shouting from the rooftops for like the last few years. I'm like, make more shoes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and Nike knows, right? I don't want to get on my soapbox again, but there are certain shoes that they don't put the energy and the effort into. And we get that those shoes are going to come out. Not everyone's a sneakerhead, so not every shoe needs to have a massive marketing budget behind it. We get it, right? But there are certain shoes that are quite important and do need a communication between the brand and the consumer. We need to understand why we should be emotionally invested in the shoe, right? When you do those shoes, make more of them.
Literally, it's not like you don't
Just
have
make
money.
more.
You don't, you have the money, like it's fine.
All right, people, we're rocking and rolling. I hope you enjoyed that. I told you it was one of the strongest bars. I told you. Next up, we've got James B. Williams, one of my favorite ever guests. I love James, man, because he had to talk about something that's a little techie, bro. I can't lie. I'm saying, like, he had to talk about something that's a little techie, a little close to home, something that is definitely touchy for most sneakerheads. He had to talk about reps, and the reason he had to talk about reps is because he had reps. You get me? Nah, not his whole collection. Nah, the guy's like sufficiently legit, and I'll let him explain. But a particular shoe was a rep, and he was not hiding it, and a lot of people did not vibe with that. You let me know your thoughts in the comments below, man. Are you rocking with his explanation as to why he has reps? Definitely had to get him on. Definitely needed to give him his opportunity to explain. You get me? Who are we? Who am I? But we need to understand. We need to know. You get me? And he was gracious enough to do that, man. So shout out to him. I'll always be grateful and thankful for him doing that. And he's a massive supporter of the pod. And therefore, I'm a massive supporter of him. You get me? Shout out to James B. Williams, man. Episode 87, reps.
Right. So yeah, what is your position when it comes to reps?
So, the sneaker that those people were talking about. So I'm sure Matt was talking about the love of Sean Witherspoon and how we mutually love him so much.
Yes.
We don't mutually love him if you remember that episode, or if you want to go back and listen to that.
Yeah, please go back and listen to it, because
he
goes in.
The Gelite 3 collab with Atmos and Sean Witherspoon. I love that pair. Great pair. A lot of people think he's the one-trick pony. I don't think he is. I think his Adidas stuff is actually great, unique. So much so, no one bought these. I like them.
Quick question. No. Would you say his Adidas stuff was better than his Nike stuff? This is the
pair, right? So this pair, this is better than any of the Adidas stuff he did, and it's Asics. I'm not questioning that. So this right here is a replica, fake, whatever you want to call it. Little backstory on me purchasing these. So when I first started getting back into sneakers back in 2017,
please,
I didn't have a ton of money, and I was looking. I'm like, oh well, I think at that point the Yeezy 350 Pirate Blacks were released, right? And we all know all the fakes that came out with that, right? Terrible, right? That reps were terrible.
Yeah.
They really were. Like it wasn't like early 2000s rep bad, like we all remember, but like it wasn't good. So I joined the rep community, hadn't bought anything. I just wanted to keep tabs on it, right? Like I was trying to understand basically what you're doing. Why are people buying fake pairs when they could just buy an alternative to that shoe as an, right? Different colorway, different whatever, right? So a few years went by. Beginning of 2023 or end of 2022, technically, is I made the purchase because it takes about a month to get to you, and I got them. Actually, I got them in like beginning of February or something in 2023. This pair specifically, right? No, so so a little deep dive into the rep community.
Was it Panda Buy or somewhere else?
Rep sneakers on Reddit. It is a lot to learn. So it was years and years of. There are middlemen and there are certain factories. Some of these middlemen have factories as well, that they specialize in a specific sneaker. Okay, so this was by. I won't say it because I don't want you to be, what is it, demonetized or whatever, right? But there's a specific middleman, whatever, that makes this shoe basically to exact specs, right? It's you look at it, it's perfect. It is perfect.
Yeah, exact specifications.
The only difference because I like details in sneakers, I can point them out pretty quickly. Like the mini swoosh, no one would notice like right now, but the swoosh is slightly bigger on the real ones. But other than that, they fit. And so that's the big thing. So before I bought these, the year leading up to it, I started to realize that people who bought reps, didn't do it for the clout. And it's one of the things that is a misconception, I think, about the entire rep sneakers. Oh, they only do it because they want to be popular. They only want to go to the club and flex. They want to flex and flex and flex and flex, right? And the reality is that I'll say about 70%. 70%, 30% definitely into flex, definitely into like I'm not gonna lie. If I said 90%, I'd be like, no, I'm lying.
100.
I
You
would say
can't lie to
7 out
me.
of 10
There's definitely
are
some
like
people.
me, and they just they're like, I genuinely love this design. I genuinely love this sneaker. I'm not paying $2,000 to, and then I will say that I had a lot of people that were like, oh, well, just sell a bunch and to buy that one. I'm like, I'm not wearing a $2,000 pair of shoes on my feet. There's no way. I'm like, I understand if people want to do that, that's totally fine. I'm not judging them for it at all. I just ask that you don't judge me because I don't want to spend $2,000. And instead, I spent 200 Canadian, right? Like 150 US. And like, it comes down to like, I love this shoe. It was the only Sean Weatherspoon I didn't have, silhouette wise. And the reality is that I love this shoe. I take sneaker photos. I enjoy taking sneaker photos. We didn't even talk about that. I love taking sneaker photos. I love stories behind shoes. I love design. I love materials. And I'm one of those people, especially with Jordan 1s. Okay. So you can't tell me that most people who own Jordan 1s that bought them from StockX, Go, eBay, whatever. Jordan 1s reps, by the way, if you buy the top ones, you can't tell the difference. That's why it's an old.
I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, it's a very old silhouette, and I mean, it's similar. I would say like there's certain Nike silhouettes because of their age and because of just how popular they've been over the years.
It wasn't that,
to tell.
But there's a prominent
I don't doubt
sneaker resale shop in Toronto, and I had a very I just said I was in their store and I ended up chatting with one of the managers, and I was saying how do you guys tell? I'm not one of those people. I have a couple pairs of reps, I said. And they just outright tell me, they're like, we don't buy specific sneakers anymore because either the reps are better for QC or it's just impossible to tell. And they said the only way to tell most of the time is the box. The only way to tell now. The sneakers themselves. Now, it's not everyone, not every single one, right? They don't know how to make a Jordan 3 yet. The reps are terrible on Jordan 3s, outright. Jordan 4s, they've almost perfected them. Jordan 1s, but the shoe that is the easiest, and I think you're wearing his sweater. Travis Scott's. There's no way. Every Travis Scott, they said they don't buy them anymore. They haven't bought them for years because it's not worth putting their store in jeopardy to sell a fake. And they said it's too close. He said actually the Phantom one's the black one, right? Impossible. They said they said the rep pairs have better materials.
Talking small about reps. You get me? A couple of episodes ago, I had the absolute legend of the UK content creator, the sneaker content creator game, probably worldwide at this point, right? One of the absolute legends. I'm talking about Sneakernomics was in the cut. Sneakernomics was here doing his thing. And once again, I asked him about the dark arts. It's one of my favorite stories. And he got into one amazing story about his Reebok pumps. You get me? I'm going to let him do the talking. But guys, enjoy. This is the last one. Is it the best for last? You let me know in the comments below, man. Shout out to Sneakernomics, episode 98. Enjoy.
I wanted to ask you about unholy grails. I don't know if it's a term that you're aware of or you've heard of.
Oh yeah.
When I say unholy grail, what do you think I'm getting at?
Like what you said, unholy grails?
Unholy grails.
I don't know. Was it like a shoe that's a grail that you don't like, maybe, or something like that?
No. You're going in a different direction. Let me take you down this dark road. So, an unholy grail is an off-brand shoe. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
Right, an off-brand shoe, maybe the type that you might see, or you used to be able to see in Sports Direct. They got a load of Yeezys in there now, but
Yeah.
like I'm talking about the kind that you might refer to as an Everlast or
like a
Trax
or like a Lonsdale or something.
Lonsdale, perfect.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get me, Dunlop. You get me. Any tire manufacturer that you can think of, those types of companies. Slazenger,
Yeah,
High Tech,
Schlesinger,
right?
yeah.
Did you ever have to dabble in the dark arts, Boski?
Well, like as a kid or as a collector?
In life.
Well, I have a story about this kind of topic. So remember I told you I was really into the Reebok pumps.
Massive.
That was like my first love next to the Aero Jams. And I always wanted a pair, but we could never really afford them, or, at least according to my dad, never justify spending all that money on them.
Fair enough, yeah.
And so I remember we went to a place called Kmart in New Zealand, which is kind of like a bit of a discount type superstore where you can buy anything and everything, but they really do well for knockoffs. And so we got a pair of knockoff Reebok pumps called the Sports 2000s. Sports 2000. And they had a basketball on the tongue. They had the whole high top aesthetic. And so what I actually did is I took the Sports 2000s and I sort of drew on the Reebok logo in pen to kind of bring them up to a presentable standard. I wore them to school. And one of my mates said, "Bro, what's going on with your shoes, man? Like you've drawn all over them." And I was like so confident. I said, "Nah, bro, this is the latest limited edition Reebok. They've actually made the logo to make it look like someone's actually drawn it on, but it's not drawn on." So, so that was an early custom from myself, the Sports 2000 Reebok unofficial collab.
Yeah, we're calling that a custom, not the other.
Yeah. So I have dabbled in that genre per se, but it wasn't like voluntarily.
I respect it. It. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed a few of my favorite stories and guests. And now that we're here, post 100, I think now's a great opportunity and great time for me to just appreciate the guests that we've had on the podcast. You get me? And I'm gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Shout out to Ben from Kaff Kicks, my guy. Sammy, obviously. Nikki Rake, shout out to you, my girl. Sam Obaseki from Sky Sports. Shout out to you, my bro. I'm so proud of you. You get me? Ade from Circulate, obviously. The main man. Ali from Crep Checked. Producer Pete, my guy, my producer, my cameraman. You get me? Big respect to Pete. Toyin Alanian. John, aka the Afro Nerd. You get me? Afro Nerds. Shout out to him. Chizzo from Chizzo Lifts. You get me? Shegs. Shout out to Shegs. Cephas Williams, my brother. You get me? Soji, aka Mr. SOJ. You get me? Franklin Boating, aka the King of Trainers. Hey, massive thank you to you, my bro. You get me? Early in the game. Shout out to Luke Fisher. Might be Luke. ACS. Shout out to ACS. Aiden, shout out to you. Adrian Thorpe from Meet the Thorpes. You get me? Adam Roberts, my bro. George Sullivan from the Soul Supplier. Talking about George Sullivan, let's take a little quick detour. You get me? He's my bro and I absolutely love him. But us and the Soul Supplier are doing a little bit of a GRAIL giveaway. We are giving away the Patta x Nike 20th anniversary Chlorophyll. You get me? Go to my Instagram. All the information you need will be right there. You could pick up a GRAIL. You get me? Still time. Pick up a GRAIL. Shout out to Patrick T, Josh Ford, Bugs. You get me? Shout out to Bugs, Erkin Hassan, Life of a Broski, my absolute bro. J2K from Hyphenate. Shout out to J2K. You get me? Shay Cray, Alex Mullins from Sneak Supply. Shout out to Alex. Jashelle Nelson, Bolu the Bear from the Stockroom Podcast. Sosa, my bro. Matt from the Doubled Up Podcast as well. Tara Thorpe from Meet the Thorpes. Legend.
absolute legend. And congratulations on the weight loss. You're looking amazing. With respect to Adrian, massive inspiration for us out here. You know I had to shout out my bro, Sneaker Den, out so, you get me? What's it say on my cap? What's it say? Blame the game, not the player. Blame the game, not the player. You get me? Shout out to Sneaker Den, he's an absolute legend. You get me? Angie Ange, my girl. Scary Clary, Shoe Galore. Tuka Tech, shout out my bro Tuka Tech. Scott from the Double Dot Podcast. Slider Cuts. Sneaker Adjusty, the GOAT. The GOAT Sneaker Adjusty. Blacklisted from the panel. Kaff. My bro, I gotta scroll down, man. Restock Reeler. Moses PSD, your banker from LinkedIn. Shout out to you. Crep Rep, my sis. Bastine, my bro. Stephanie Howard from End State, formerly of Nike and Reebok and New Balance and all these different spots, man. Just an amazing woman. Matt O from Volker. Kate Jasinski from The Edit London. Raf from My Soul's Fly, my bro. My downfall. You get me? Matthias van der Meulen from Sneaker Nest. John Francis from The Soul Supplier. E-Man from The Stockroom Pod. Jason Mack from Kicks Sneakers. Doogie Lish Santiago. What a name. The Croc King, Kieran Coyle, all that sneaks. Ohis from Foot Unit Limited. James Else from the Drop Date, legend of the game. Zach Noble, you know that Zach Noble. Joe Palmley from Kicks and Coffee, my brother. You get me? Bradley Martinez from Foot Patrol. Will Stowe from the Sneakers app. And just from Nike in general, man. You know, Will Stowe, Hackney's very own. The one everyone knows. You get me? James Harvey from the Urban Syndicate. Rashawn from Heat Central Brotherhood. My brothers. My guys. Foles from Jason Mark, my guy. Culture Force. Just legends of the game. James B. Williams. Dylan Singh from A Biblical Life. Sophia Hart. Firm Fridays. Jack and Max. Julia Zucchini, my sister. You get me? Forza Italia. Amantak, my bro from Offspring. Ben Miles from Perfect. Who is Hass? My international podcast brother. You get me? From My First Kicks. Sneakernomics. And last but not least, the original OG, LORENZ.OG. Shout out to each one of you. You've been absolute legends for being on the pod. Your support, you get me, has been sick. And yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to each one of you for being on the pod. And you never know, you might see some of them, man, back in the not too distant future. And now we've looked back, here's an opportunity for us to look forward. And you guys could have the opportunity, right, to shape how we look moving forward. You get me? You guys are going to play a massive role in the guests that we get. And you can even tell me the guests you want to see for the next 100 episodes, you know? In fact, you listening to this, watching this, you could be a guest. You could be a guest. You could be in the next 100 episodes and just sharing your sneaker stories with our community. I've never been about followers. I've never been about who's got the biggest platform. We're trying to create a massive platform to share your stories. So it don't matter how many people follow you. It just matters if you've got a real story that you want to share. And if you do, hit me up. kickschronicles@gmail.com or PROZECH on every single social media platform. Just hit me up and let's chat. You get me? To see if you can make it make sense. Alternatively, if you have a guest that you want to see on the podcast, also hit me up. Let me know. And at the least I can do is try and make it happen. Because if I know you want to see them, I know that other people probably might want to see them as well. And I probably want to see them myself. You know what? So like, yeah, man, let me know. You get me? The same ways. And you know what? I'll go one better than that. If you suggest somebody and they end up coming on the pod, I'm going to shout you out during the pod as a contributor to the pod, right? I'll also give you the opportunity, if you want to ask a question, you get me? And you can give me that question, submit a question, and I'll ask that on your behalf, also shouting you out. And, right, if we are doing the podcast and you are available and it's cool, I will allow you to come on and view the live podcast as we record it. You get me? I will give you that opportunity without a shadow of a doubt. You have the opportunity. You get me? Whether it's a virtual or it's an actual live thing, you can roll with us. Or if it's a virtual, I will give you the key to come and be an audience member. And you can come and watch live. You get me? So yeah, if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, feel free to let us know in the comments below. Any guests you'd like to see, and if you can get them, boom, that's you, innit? Before I let you go, I can reveal that the guest, our first guest in this post 1000, sorry, 3, 2, 1, our first guest in this post 100 episode era is an absolute legend of the game. Now, some of you know him as Fabio. Some of you know him as FD. But I know him as FD from the you-know. Yes, I'm talking about FD from the future. Next week, next Sunday, 6 p.m, he will be our first guest. That is already in the can. I'm editing it as we speak, people. You get me? I got that locked and loaded. You get me? So you already know big things are going. Lastly, and the most importantly, I just want to thank you guys once again for just your support and your love. You've made this first 100 episodes fly by like a breeze. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. You get me? And you probably can appreciate dropping a podcast every week is probably not the easiest thing to do. Easier ways for me to live my life, man. But I'm about this thing. I want to hear our stories. And you guys are amazing. You've made it like so much easier with your support and your encouragement and your amazing comments and your like all of that stuff just makes it so much easier. And don't get me wrong, a lot more of you could subscribe and a lot more of you could be liking and sharing and doing all of that great stuff, because you know that stuff really does help. I mean, you can't really understate how much that stuff really does help. But I mean, whether you're watching, whether you're listening, and whatever you're doing, as long as you get involved, I'm cool, man, and I appreciate you massively, massively. You made this situation so much easier just through your love and your support, and I really do feel it and appreciate it, man. So yeah, here's to 1,000 more with respect. And until I see all of you, man, down the roads, please look after yourselves and everybody stay blessed. Yes, my people, Big PROZECH here, and to celebrate our 100th episode, we've partnered with the guys over at the Soul Supplier to do an amazing GRAIL giveaway. Yes, we are giving away the Patta x Nike AM1 Chlorophyll. Yes, amazing settings. All you have to do is jump over to my Instagram, that's at PROZECH, and all the information will be available. Thank you for everyone that supported so far. Let's keep it going, and good luck to all who enter. Thank you for listening to this episode of Kicks Chronicles. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. And remember, full video version is available on YouTube, audio versions available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.